Shopify grows your business no matter how far or big you grow. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Whether you're selling your fans' next favorite shirt or an exclusive piece of podcast merch, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. Allbirds, Rothy's, Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow, grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in.
In long-distance running, there are no hacks. You put in the work, and it takes a long time and a lot of consistency to get better. But there is actually one thing that probably does meet the definition of a hack. It's a simple way to get faster, to improve your running form, quicken your feet, better prepare for a race, and have some fun, all in less than 90 seconds of work. It's a simple speed development drill that's a staple of track and field and cross-country teams all over the world. But many recreational runners are missing out when it can massively improve their running. It's called the stride, or striders, or accelerations, or stride outs. Lots of names for the same awesome skill. But what it's not is a sprint or a surge. I'll get to those in just a little bit. If you are a beginner, they are the absolute best way to begin with speed. Or if you've been running for a while but never tried strides, they can help you break out of your plateau. And if you're a master's runner, strides are simply the best way to maintain and perhaps even improve your skills and speed as you age. In short, strides are beneficial to every runner at every stage. Welcome to The Planted Runner. I'm Coach Claire Bartholic, and my mission is to help you improve your running, your mindset, and your life with science-backed training and plant-based nutrition. In this episode, you'll learn the 5 benefits you'll get from strides, the common misconceptions about them, and exactly when and how to do them. Even if you've been doing strides for years, this is a perfect episode to reinforce everything you've been doing right for your running, and you just might learn a new tip or two to perfect them. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you might notice that I covered the topic of strides in the podcast that I used to host. You might hear a rerun of that show or see content I created as a podcast host repurposed into a new YouTube video or Instagram reel or something I haven't thought of yet. If you follow them, you'll likely see my face and hear my voice everywhere as if I still work there. I feel like I need to make it clear that I haven't coached or created content for anyone other than the Planted Runner in many, many months. And I also feel it's important to create a library of resources for you here and only here at the Planted Runner podcast and theplantedrunner.com. The topic of strides, for example, is a critical component of endurance training, so it's worthy of updating and talking about again, because my goal is to help you become a better runner every single episode. Before I get into the details, I want to take a moment to highlight my PR team. The PR team is a small group of runners just like you who are working with each other and me to stay consistent, stay accountable, and work towards becoming better runners every day. Not to mention, it's really fun. I'll talk more about the team later on in the episode, but if you're ready to learn more right now, head to theplantedrunner.com/group. And don't forget to stay tuned all the way to the end of the episode for another Mental Strength Minute, where you'll fortify your mind in 60 seconds or less. Before I go into depth about exactly what strides are, let me tell you what they're not. They are not sprints. You are not starting from zero and running like your life depends on it. Strides are 20 to 35 seconds of very fast running, but it is not all out. It's more like 85 to 90% of all out. If you want to attach a race pace effort, it's your mile race pace, but I always hesitate to use race paces to describe the pace of a particular drill like strides. The reason for that is primarily because most people have no idea what their 1 mile race pace is. Even if you decided to go out and find out how fast you could run a mile by heading out to your local high school track tomorrow, that's not going to be accurate. Why? Because unless you've spent weeks or months or even years specifically training for the mile, whatever you run alone on the track is not representative of your potential at the mile. But even if it was, even if you knew precisely what your best mile race pace is down to the 10th of a second, it makes zero difference when it comes to your stride pace. And that's because strides are not about pace. They're not even about speed. A better way to think of them is that they are a speed development drill. You are practicing running fast so you can get better at running fast. How fast you actually run a stride is not the point. How well you run a stride is. But before I get into how exactly you do your strides right, let's talk about why you should incorporate them into your running in the first place. Strides have a ton of benefits, and there are 5 main reasons to use them. Number 1, strides help you work on running mechanics and excellent form in short little pieces. It's hard to stay 100% present and focused on running your best all the time, but with 20 or 30-second strides, you can micromanage all the little details with your full attention. Since strides are done after an easy run or before a hard workout, your body and your brain aren't too tired to pay attention with laser focus. As you practice strides over weeks and months, you no longer have to concentrate quite so hard because great form while running fast is starting to feel more normal. And that will eventually translate to more natural, fast running on race day. Number 2, strides are the perfect introduction to speed for beginner runners. If you are just starting out, the thought of running a mile or two at any pace is challenging, let alone trying an intimidating speed session that you are simply not ready for. Strides are a perfect way to get to know what fast running feels like, and they can jumpstart your progression into speedier workouts. Number 3, strides add a little spicy speed to the legs of long-distance runners because most of your runs either need to be slow to build up your aerobic system or at tempo pace to build stamina. Marathoners' legs can feel a bit stale after weeks of training. Strides offer you a great way to inject some speed work into your training plan without having to sacrifice a whole day of training. Just a few strides a couple of days a week can sprinkle in some fast footwork without sacrificing specific training. Number 4, strides are a perfect drill to add into your warm-up routine for speed days and races. After about 10 to 20 minutes of jogging, add some strides and some other form drills before you start your interval or your race. The burst of speed will remind the legs there's work to do and get the adrenaline pumping. And finally, number 5, strides are fun. There is nothing like flying down the road, pretending you are Usain Bolt or Allison Felix. Running fast is fun, and strides make you feel fast, if only for a few seconds. So, what is the best way to do strides? Remember I said they are not a sprint and not a surge, so what the heck are they? More on that right after this. I want to tell you about a unique opportunity for you to get stronger, faster, and stay motivated to hit all your running and nutrition goals this year, and that is to join the PR team. I started it last fall, and I have to tell you, it's even better than I imagined. Each member of the team gets a custom training plan made by me for you based on your unique fitness, goals, and lifestyle. Everything you need to crush your running dreams is included, such as strength training, recovery, and even cross-training if you want it. I include weekly mental strength training as well as tips and nutrition guides. But here's where it gets really cool. The group has its own page in the app where we share workouts, ask training questions, and get feedback from me and the other teammates. And each week, I create an exclusive private podcast just for the team based on the questions I get and what I see in their training each week. And I usually end up sharing behind the scenes and exclusive sneak peeks with the team that I don't share anywhere else. So instead of joining a Facebook group or sitting through another Zoom call, you get to listen to tailored advice on the run, and you don't have to do all of this alone. So if you are ready to take your running to the next level and join an amazing team of runners, head to theplantedrunner.com/group and join us today. It's more affordable than you think, and I can't wait to have you.
Greetings from Evergreen Podcasts. We're rolling out a listener survey, and we want to hear from you. The information in the survey will help us gather statistics and in turn make our shows more appealing to advertisers. I know most people don't like ads, but this is one of the only ways our shows make money and help keep their lights on. We promise it will only take a few minutes, but the impact on our podcasts will be tremendous. As a token of our appreciation, we'll randomly select one lucky participant each month to win an exclusive merchandise package from Evergreen Podcasts. Head to evergreenpodcast.com/listenersurvey to help a show and possibly get some free stuff for doing so. We can't thank you enough for the support. Now back to the show.
Women's Running Stories, where we explore the intersection between running and life. Because every woman who is committed to a running journey has a story to tell, and this is where you'll find those stories. I am host and producer Cherie Louise Turner. I'm a 53-year-old runner, and together with original music by musician and runner Cormac O'Regan, we bring these inspirational stories to life. Please join us to fuel your adventures.
Hopefully by now, I've convinced you to try a few strides after your easy run or before a speed session. Once or twice a week is all you need of this powerful speed tool. So what's the most effective way to do them? When you're done with your warm-up jog or easy run, take a few minutes to stretch, relax, and get a sip or two of water. You want your heart rate to come down and your breathing to normalize. Typically, a set of strides will include 4 to 6 strides with 2 to 3 minutes of full rest in between. When you come to the end of your stride, stop completely, catch your breath, and let your heart rate come back down to near normal. Some people stand, others walk, and others prefer to jog slowly back to the starting point. All of these choices are fine, but if you let me choose, I prefer that my athletes not jog in between. The goal of the rest is full recovery, and that will happen better without the jog. With a full recovery, it's always easier to run faster at any distance, and strides are no exception. So set yourself up for success on each rep and get as recovered as possible. As I mentioned in the beginning, a common misconception about strides is that they are sprints. Let's imagine elite sprinters racing the 100-meter dash. They start at 0 and explode as fast as possible, reaching their peak speed as they cross the finish line and only slow down when the race is over. Strides are different. They are not sprints. A better image to keep in your head is of a bell curve. For your 20-second stride, you begin accelerating into your fast pace over the first 5 seconds. It's important to ease into the pace and not explode into top speed to prevent injury. After 5 seconds, you should have reached full speed. This is where you will try to stay for the middle of the stride, or about 10 seconds. During this 10-second window of fast but not all-out running, your goal is to stay 100% present and focused on the important work you are doing. This is where you are practicing your very best running, and it is far more effective if you're paying attention. In these 10 seconds, your body will do its best to find the most efficient way to run fast for you. This will look slightly different for every runner, but there are some universal form cues that you can keep in mind to help this process along. Focused on staying relaxed and letting your body do the work. Avoid the natural temptation to grimace or grind your teeth while you're working hard. This wastes unnecessary energy in your face, and it will be a harder habit to break later if you unconsciously practice this in training. A better habit is to keep your face relaxed or even smile. Smiling while working hard is a scientifically proven painkiller, and strides are a great place to practice this technique. During the stride, make sure your arms are moving smoothly in a forwards and backwards motion, with your elbows driving high behind your shoulders. Any side-to-side or cross-body movement with your arms is a missed opportunity to propel you forwards. Instead of clenching your hands into fists, imagine that they're blades of steel slicing through the air. Your entire body should have a noticeable forward lean beginning at the ankles, all the way up to your nose. Your nose should be the first part of your body to cross an imaginary line, and your big toe should be the last. Your spine is tall and straight, supported by a tight core, and your shoulders are down and back. Consciously think about landing on your midfoot, not your heel, with your knees driving forward. Yes, that's a lot to think about in 10 seconds. But the more you practice, the more habitual all this positive reinforcement will be. But even more important than all of these form cues that I just gave you is that you stay relaxed. I know some people, the words relax and fast don't go together, but they actually can. In fact, when you can reach the point of fitness where you can run fast and stay relaxed, there's no limit to the possibilities. Now back to your stride. Continue to stay relaxed at your top end speed, and gradually over the last 5 seconds, slow yourself to a stop. Take the next couple of minutes to relax and catch your breath, and do it again. Another common misconception about strides is that they're the same thing as surges. While they are similar, they are not quite the same thing and do not work on the same skill. Surges are injections of speed within a run. When pressed for time, some runners will throw in a few surges into the last mile of their easy run and say that they've done their strides. They have not. A surge practices the skill of running faster when you're tired. It can also be used by competitive runners when trying to shake off rivals in a race, or it can be used to break up the monotony of a long, flat marathon. These are all good reasons to practice surges, but they are not strides. Strides, on the other hand, is a speed mechanics tool. You practice running fast in small doses, so you get used to running faster in big chunks later. Your body learns its own unique way to be smooth and efficient, and soon, fast running becomes second nature. As you can tell by now, I'm pretty excited about the power of strides and hope you are too. If you try them out for the first time or the millionth time, reach out to me and let me know how they went. You can find me here on YouTube and Instagram at The Planted Runner. And now it's time for the Mental Strength Minute. Fortify your mind in 60 seconds or less. Today's topic is plan your reward. Human beings can be very motivated by rewards for doing something hard well. So before you head out for a hard run or a race, think about what you can treat yourself with afterwards. Maybe it's something as simple as a nice hot shower or even a nap. Perhaps you've got a nourishing meal waiting for you when you return. Or maybe you'll be treating yourself with a brand new tattoo when you finally hit your dream goal. Your reward doesn't have to be expensive or indulgent, unless you want it to be. It just has to be something that you can imagine when the run gets hard to give you something positive to look forward to. Thank you for listening to The Planted Runner or watching it here on YouTube. But don't forget, you can win a copy of my book for leaving an Apple Podcast review, so be sure to write yours right after your run today. Reviews are the #1 way to boost this show's reach, and it's a great way to tell me what you'd like to hear next because I read every single one. Have a great run today.
There is no hood like parenthood. When you meet a fellow parent, you just kind of get each other on a whole nother level. Hi, I'm Kanika Chadda Gupta. I'm a former CNN journalist, mom of 3, including twins, and host of That's Total Mom Sense, the podcast. I interview changemakers on their life lessons, legacy, and superpower of intuition, aka their mom sense and dad sense. I've had some pretty amazing parents on my show.
Hey, what's up? I'm Kelly Rowland.
Hi, this is Chelsea Clinton. It's me, Bobby Brown. Can't wait to share my story.
Episodes release every Thursday. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and on YouTube. Join my tribe at thatstotalmomsense.com and follow me on Instagram at Kanika Chadda Gupta. I'm thrilled to be on this journey with you.